Hi, I'm Holly Homer, and I write at Kids Activities blog. And today I want to share with you something that might be a little controversial, but I want to kind of explain how we've arrived at where we've arrived. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'll let you choose on that. But just for a little background, I was raised in a very nonviolent environment. We were vegetarians, so we didn't even kill animals to eat. And my mom was very, very against guns. We didn't have toys of any type that resembled anything to do with war or weapons or anything like that. I can remember back in kindergarten, first grade, going to a park where we were going to have a squirt gun fight, and I was there with this little ridiculous thing that fit into the hand that my mom had found that was not a gun. So you filled up this tiny thing, it was in the hand, and you squirted it and it went out, I don't know, maybe about 2 feet. But anyway, I was obviously outgunned at that point. But I kind of thought it was a little ridiculous growing up because, I knew the difference between a real gun and a not so real gun. And I didn't have violent tendencies of any sort. So, but I hadn't really thought about it. In fact, I had just assumed that I would raise my children the same way. And it's one of those things that, it's a really long list of things that I'm like, I would never do this. And then you're a parent and you're like, oh crap, I'm doing this. So, but anyway, I think it was a little more thoughtful in this way because I have 3 boys, and that's one of those kind of karma things. That's why my list gets longer every day of things that I said I wouldn't do. But my boys are now 7, 9, and 12. And we first noticed this back when my youngest was just a preschooler, is that he was fashioning weapons out of anything. Like if we were outside, it was sticks and stones, and if we were indoors, he was picking up sharp objects and thrusting them at his brother, who was just a baby. So this went on, and as my older 2 started growing and battling it out, they were choosing things around the house to create weapons out of. And at one point I said, this is kind of ridiculous because they could hurt themselves, really bad. So I started looking into some softer weapons and came across, obviously, the whole arsenal that you can buy through Nerf and other toy manufacturers, where things are a little bit safer when they play like boys play. And so that's where that started, is, we started allowing those things in the house, and their arsenal has grown. In fact, I have just a taste of what they have, but we're talking very advanced weaponry of all sizes and calibers, I don't know. Anyway, one of the things I'm not against these toys at all anymore. And the reason for that is I have seen so much teamwork with the boys, not only with them playing together at the different ages and different levels and different skills, but when other kids come over, it's usually so that they can pull out, 15 of these and create some sort of reenactment of a past battle. And, on one hand, they don't hurt themselves with these, but on the other hand, I like it better than a video game because they do have some amount of consequence of reactions, and they learn how they have to play in a certain way so that they don't hurt each other. Whereas with the video games, I don't think they have that tactile input that boys need. One thing that I think is kind of ridiculous is the whole level of the Nerf swords, and because every 7-year-old needs a battle hatchet. But here again, it's so much safer than them making this out of boards and sticks and things that they could really hurt themselves with. So we have really gone kind of to the opposite side of the spectrum of where I expected to be at this point, and that is letting the kids play with things within reason that we think are safer than what they were creating on their own. They're very creative boys. In fact, one of our very, very, very favorite things in the whole world is to do is we have laser guns. And we have 6 of them so that the whole family can play. And we team up after dark, turn all the lights out in the house, and just have a battle and see which team wins, which is really, really fun way for me to get involved in something that I'm not especially skilled at. I can hide in the dark pretty well. So anyway, that's where we have gotten on the toy gun control, and that's why we arrived here. And it's not where I expected to be, but parenting is kind of one of those journeys.